lads, how you doing? Welcome back to Baggy TV, welcome back to my channel. We did it, finally. We have reached a 1,000 subscriber milestone. Thank you, each and every one of you. Lads, I have not received a single question for Q&A Sunday. Why is that? Will you guys playing that? Send me your video messages to Baggy_TV on Instagram. Now, Timo Werner, what is his ideal position? Because people seem to be confused about his position. People are talking about him being a striker. Others are talking about him being a winger. So what is he? He's a bit of both. He's a bit of both. Timo Werner would be a good striker in a 2-forward system. But for him to be doing it by himself, which is a system that we play at Chelsea, I think he will struggle.
So you do want a striker who can play with his back to goal, but Giroud can absolutely do that. So you can tell Frank Lampard wants a bit of everything from this centre forward. Really, Timo Werner doesn't necessarily fit the mould of either club, but what he can do is he can play on the wing at Chelsea, running behind. And you know, if you look at how Chelsea played early doors, they tried to get balls over the top to Christian Pulisic. And Christian Pulisic was running in that channel that Timo Werner would be running in. And you could both probably deploy him as either a centre forward or a left wing, and he would still successfully run in that channel. So the thing is, he's a really quality player that scores a lot of goals, and Chelsea could really do with that. The thing is, for Timo Werner, if Chelsea are looking for quality in a marquee signing, he of course is that profile. The problem is, does he fit Frank Lampard's plans, and also, does the player want to come to Chelsea? If the player wanted to come to Chelsea, I sort of reckon Chelsea would have no problem paying £55 million if it suited all parties in terms of target player wants to come to Chelsea. For me, I'm always going to have that feeling of, well, he wants to go to Liverpool. I don't want Chelsea to be a second option. Do you know what I mean? It's a difficult one because he is absolutely quality. If he turns up at Chelsea, hopefully he just rips it up. Still, but he would certainly fit the bill of one of Roman Abramovich's 2 statesman signings. They could sign Werner, Chilwell. That would be very, 2 very high-profile signings. I know everyone's not too hyped on Ben Chilwell, but if the gaffer wants it.
So Chelsea's come off the back of this and they think they can steal this particular deal off them. Now, my issue is that, look, it doesn't matter to me when a player, openly states that they have admirations for other clubs. We've had many other players previously, in the likes of Hazard. He's always shown admirations towards Real Madrid, but he's always stayed focused in Chelsea's cause. Cesc Fabregas, when he came back to Chelsea, he was actually looking to play for Arsenal, but ended up at Chelsea. Callum Hudson-Odoi in recent times put in a transfer request because he was flirting around with the thought of going to Bayern Munich. And Nicolas Pepe in recent times, has shown admirations to play for Chelsea, but ended up signing for Arsenal. So look, I don't care that the fact that Timo Werner has publicly come out and stated Klopp's a fantastic manager, his admirations of, possibly playing for Liverpool if he goes to the Premier League, and he really, really likes how Liverpool is organised. Look, that in itself, I don't mind, but what I care is when they're public about it. Now that Chelsea has come out openly and they possibly want to steal this deal off Liverpool because they might not be in for this particular player in this summer, it's very difficult for me to, accept the fact that this player is going to have the same passion, the same drive for us. Now, having said that, he very may well have, at the end of the day, they're professionals, so they've got to do the job. So for me, if we sign him, if he ends up doing well for us, and he has the same level of commitment that he has for Leipzig week in, week out when he plays for them, it does not matter for me. But yes, it does get a bit annoying when a player goes out there publicly stating all this information.
Most of the players at Chelsea are going for are actually from the Bundesliga.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but what about Ben Chilwell?
And Ben Chilwell, but Ben Chilwell I wouldn't put as a marquee. So today we really want to concentrate more on Werner because the news about Werner is hotting up, and Chelsea feel that they can actually snatch Werner away from Liverpool. So Liverpool have been the favourites to buy Werner, and remember, he's told Liverpool that he wants to join them. And a lot of Chelsea fans are not happy because they're saying, why should we get a player who wants to join Liverpool? What do you think about that, guys? Would you want a player who's openly said that they'll like to join another club? Would you like them to join your team?
Yeah, well, it's kind of thing, because like, say Thomas Partey, say he wanted to go to Tottenham, like I wouldn't, and then he went to Arsenal. His mind was set on Tottenham, and I think he would have wanted to go to Tottenham, but he might not perform as well as he would do if he was at a club that he really wanted to go. So.
But you say that, but I have a different spin on it, because David Silva, he said that he would love to join Chelsea, and that's before he went to Manchester City. He said Chelsea is a club he admires and he would like to be a part of it.
Chelsea?
No, he's not support them, but that's when Chelsea were winning a lot of things. He expressed a wish to go to Chelsea. But Werner doesn't support Chelsea; he just wants to play for under Klopp. But David Silva went to Manchester City, and he had many good years, successful years at Manchester City,
yeah.
And not once has he mentioned the regret for not joining Chelsea. So sometimes they may express an opinion or they say that they want to join a club, but once they join,
well, it means nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're professionals at the end of the day. So if he does come to Chelsea, it's not. I don't think he'll underperform. I still think he'll perform at.
Yeah,
because
like,
they get
Ronaldo.
In regards to Timo Werner, is there a possibility that we might steal the player off from Liverpool? Now, starting with the first report, and of course, we need to speak about this Timo Werner news. It's looking like we still haven't forgiven Liverpool for signing Alisson off from us. Now, you could argue that it's our fault for not being assertive because we still had hopes for Courtois staying at the club. We know how that turned out, you guys. However, is it starting to look like Liverpool might get a taste of their very own medicine? Reports came out by Matt Law, and when Matt Law does report something, you guys, I'm telling you straight, it's normally big news because he does have extremely close ties to the club. So when he does report something, it is factual and it is correct. Now, I know what some of you guys are thinking. Niinii, hasn't Werner been twerking for Liverpool like this entire season? He wants to sign for Liverpool. Why should we sign a player that doesn't have his heart set on signing for us? Now, if I was to give my opinion on this, I feel like maybe this is kind of like a binary way of seeing things. What's wrong with Werner seeing Liverpool as the first choice and us as the second choice? I mean, we saw the same thing happen time and time again, most notably with the Alisson deal last summer. That's just how football works, and from Werner's perspective, if he signed for Liverpool, a team that you can argue, if you're being objective, in a sporting sense, is better than us right now. They won a Champions League, they're about to win the league, they've been growing and getting better time and time again. They've been getting better, they play a great style of football. If you're Werner, where you can be coached by Jurgen Klopp, I mean, it's kind of obvious why you would be interested to sign for them. If clubs only sign players that wanted to sign for them, then you'd be surprised by the final business being done. Thank God football doesn't actually work like that. However, there is a reality that if Werner really does have his heart set on signing for Liverpool, it could make things a lot harder. Maybe we have a possibility to persuade him to sign for us by offering him more guaranteed game time compared to what the player could actually receive if he signed for Liverpool. I mean, come on, with Mane, Salah and Firmino, you can argue that these three are better than Werner. I think it's safe to assume that Werner could play a more rotation role if he was to sign for Liverpool. I think the player and his advisors would strongly think about that possibility. I mean, he's playing week in, week out for RB Leipzig. He's their star player. How can he go from playing week in, week out to maybe being on the bench for certain games? This might not be the best situation for the player. Now, could there be a real possibility that Liverpool are now starting to turn their attentions away from Timo Werner? Stay tuned for that, you guys. I'm Niinii FC, this is Blue Line TV.